Now let's get into if else concept. Let's create a new class for each and every topic. Click the main checkbox. So now it has created the main method for this class. So now int I equal to 100, int j equal to 200. So now if else concept is if else is always for a condition. If this condition is true, then try to do this operation. If the condition is false, then try to do in this operation. If else is conditional operation. So if will execute only when true. If condition is true, if will execute. If condition is false, else will execute. So else always will execute when condition is false. If if I is greater than j, so for if we need to use this curly braces. If I is greater than a, then try to print I is greater. Else, so after you have completed this if right, so after this curly braces, at the end of this curly braces we need to type else. So for else also we need to use this curly braces. So here we are mentioning as j is greater. If I is greater, then j is usually a smaller number, right? So it won't try to print. If j is greater, then I usually is smaller, so it won't print this condition. So in this condition, it will this if is will get fail. Because j is 200, I is 100, so it will print, it will come to the else class and it will print int j is greater. In this, now if I change into I value as a 300, then this condition will become true because I is greater. So now it will print int I is greater number. If both integer is the same value, now what it will do? So if I and j are equal, it doesn't have I is not greater than j at the same time. So but the condition is I always needs to be greater than j. At least it needs to be 201, then only it will become true. Even though if it is equal 200 equal to 200, this condition it won't get satisfied. So now this it will get failed and it will print as j is greater number. There are different type of conditional operators are there. Sorry, this is not a conditional operator, this is an if else class. Within this if else class we will do these conditional operators. If else is class, in that we use conditional operation. Comparison operator. The different type of different comparison operators are less than or greater than, or less greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, double equal to, not equal to. So these are different type of comparison operators. For example, if I double equal to j, so if we are going to mention only one statement after the if, we doesn't need to type the curly braces also. You can directly print system out of println. I and j are equal, else and j are not equal. Now it will print as I and j are equal, because we have used conditional operator. Double equal to means it mentioning as equal. If I mention as a single, it will take it as a assignment. So we are assigning a value of j to I. See, if I mention I equal to j, then Java will think like we are assigning a value for I. So we are assigning a value j. What is the value of j? J is 200. So we are assigning I equal to 200. So it will like that. If I mention double equal to, then it will take as a condition, and both the number needs to be an equal, like that. So let's do some logic here. Let's print the highest number. k equal to 300, no, 400, I equal to 100. So we have 3 integer and 3 different type of values. So now we need to identify which value is higher by using this comparison operator. So first, if I is greater than j and I is greater than k, followed with the statement of sysout, which is system.out.println. Within that, I'm just typing as a I is the greater number, else j is greater than k. Now I'm just typing as system.out.println. Within that, j is the greater number. So let's see, here I have used two comparison. I'm just comparing with I is greater than j and I is greater than k. Then why I'm only using j is greater than k? Why I haven't mentioned j is greater than I? Because here I have already compared with I and j. So from this I get to know I is not a greater number than j. So then why that, then only it is coming at here. So why I need to add once again and I'm checking j is whether it's greater than I or not, because that condition already satisfied at here. So from this I get to know j is already a greater number than I. That's why this condition is get failed and it has came to else. So I doesn't need to mention again as j is greater than I or not. We just need to know whether j is greater than k or not. That's it. Else it's a nested if. Using nested if. Nested if is we can able to use if, else if. Else if is the nested if condition. Else. So this is the nested if condition. We can also add as many condition you need. You can add one more else condition also. It's not at all a problem. If you have more condition, you can add even one more else condition also. It's not an issue. So else if is the nested if. So now I'm just using else system.out.println k is the greater number. Why I haven't mentioned anything? Because here I have used two conditions to check whether I is greater number than j or not. Here I haven't used one more comparison, because here from here itself I get to know j is a greater number. That's why this condition is get failed and came into here. So I doesn't need to check once again this condition. So here I'm just checking only j is greater than with k or not. So here why I haven't mentioned any other condition here instead of why I have directly went to else? Because already I have checked k with I here. Since if k is greater than 5, then this condition will get failed. Then it will come at this second condition. Here I am again checking with j whether k is greater than j or not. Since this condition is j is greater than k or not, so now this condition will get failed. Then only coming to here. So I have already compared two conditions for k. So that's why I am directly printing k is the greater number. 100 is greater than 200. 200 only, right? Yes. So this condition is false. False. Second one, 100 is greater than 400. So now this both the condition are also false. So, and actually this AND operation, right? If I mention any comparison bit, if I mention any AND operation, this we are calling as an AND. And if I use like this, if I use this symbol, then it will as an OR operation. So if I use any AND between any two comparison, then both the conditions should become true. Then only it will try to print this statement. If any one statement is true and another statement is false, then it won't try to print it, this. It will directly go to this another condition. So now J is 200 is greater than 400 or not. So this condition also will become false. So this statement also it won't get print. So it will directly come to else and it doesn't have any condition. So it will directly print this statement. Let's see this. K is the greater number. For example, as I said, right, AND means both the comparison needs to get passed, then only it will give us a true. So here both the things are false, so it doesn't went. For example, if 200, I'm just mentioning 200 for I, J is 100. So now see, 200 is greater than 100. So the first comparison is true. But the second comparison is false because I is 200. 200 is greater than, if it is not greater than 400, right? So this condition is false. Since it has one true, it won't try to print this line number 45, print this statement. It will went to this else part. So here J is 100, K is 400. So now also this condition will get false and it will directly go and print this K. If I have mentioned 400 for J, 400 for I and 200 for K. So now we are able to get to know like I is the greater number. So now I is 400, J is 100, I is 400, K is 100, so K is 200. So now 400 is greater than 100, so it is the comparison is true. So I is greater than K, so 400 is greater than 200, so now this comparison also true. So once both the comparison is true, then this AND operation will return as a true. So if condition is true, then it will directly print this statement and it won't try to go to this else if part. If condition is true, then it won't go to the else part, any of else part. It will directly break at here. Let I execute this. See, I is equal to, see, I is the greater number. So now I will explain you about the OR operation. For example, here I am just mentioning 200 and here I am just mentioning 400. So I is 200, K is 400. So now 200 is, let I replace this AND instead of OR. So if I mention 200 is greater than 100, if I mention 200 is greater than 100, then this condition is true. So the next condition is I is greater than of K. So 200 is greater than of 400, then this condition is false. So the OR operation it will do, it always check at least any one comparison needs to get passed. It always check at least one condition or comparison to pass or true. At least any one condition or comparison needs to get pass or true. If it is and, it always check both the condition needs to get pass. Needs to get pass. So in this, since first condition is true, second condition is false, then since we have mentioned our comparison, then this, so it will return as pass. If at least if one is true, then this condition is pass, right? Since we are using as an OR, so it will try to print this statement and it won't try to go to this else part. Wait, I show you this. See, one condition is pass, another condition is true, but even though it is trying to print I is the greater number, it doesn't check whether K is greater number or not. So this is the difference between AND or OR. Okay, thank you.